friend. I'm Jacques Howard. Welcome to Trenton365 Live. This is my latest effort with filmmaker Will Foskey. We're doing some amazing things here in the city of Trenton, New Jersey and beyond, and the intent is to build a better community through civic engagement. For those of you who have followed some of my efforts over the years, you know that I have a bit of an eclectic comprehension of what civic engagement is. This is an opportunity for me to drill down on that a bit more, to find out a bit more about the individuals, the organizations, and the businesses that are working to make this region better. You can stay connected with me by following on the YouTube pages or through social media, Trenton365, but you can always send me an email, Trenton, the numbers, 365show@gmail.com. Trenton365show@gmail.com. For those of you who are interested in opportunities to promote your organizations, your calls, and your individual efforts, you can always get in contact as well, and we can put together an amazing package for you that will give you an opportunity to gain some exposure in an unbiased, nonpartisan manner to a very large, diverse, and eclectic audience here in central New Jersey. Now, to a bit more about who I am. For those of you who don't know, I was born in Trenton, New Jersey, raised in Ewing Township, graduated from Ewing High School. I excelled in sports, particularly baseball, and spent lots of time hanging out with my friends playing rec sports and riding BMX bicycles. In addition to that, I have a passion for fashion. That was introduced to me by my father at a young age, and I still have some of his gear. I'm a big vintage clothing guy, by the way. After graduating from the Art Institute of Philadelphia, I spent some time working in the garment industry for many years with the sole intent of helping to design a better world through fashion and art. I've spent some time here in Trenton, New Jersey, focusing and working on nonprofits and what they are actually doing here in the city. Some of the major nonprofits, I've spent some time serving on their boards and even helping them with certain projects. That is another opportunity for us to connect civically. Later on tonight, I'm going to be introducing a couple of my friends and giving them an opportunity to use this platform to share a bit more about what they're doing as well. I encourage you again to reach out via email, Trenton365show@gmail.com. I guess I'll explain how it all went down.
How much do you know about what happened?
Some people got sick. It spread around real fast. Everyone panicked. I thought I was the last one.
You're one of us. The lucky few.
Don't let me go back out there. You're my responsibility.
Get off of me!
No!
Governments fell, societies crumbled, people hid, scavenged, whatever it took. And we survived.
We weren't meant for this world.
Rosie really believes in this Eden place. She thinks of it as something bigger than us.
Maybe it is.
We need to survive. I need to do what's best for our family.
Where to begin?
And welcome back to Trenton365 Live. Again, you can send an email, Trenton365show@gmail.com. You can also follow us on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well. Just do a search for Trenton365. In the studio with me now is Nicole Reeves, who is an accounting services professional and AR management. And I always like to tell a bit about my experiences with whoever my guests are. And I've met Nicole many years ago. She is one of those dynamic human beings here in the region that's doing some amazing things and providing some services to the general population that are often needed, but a lot of times people don't know about. So at this point, Nicole Reeves, welcome to Trenton365 Live.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about NAR and the services that you offer.
NAR Management is an accounting service company. Basically, I do accounting, taxes, and personal finance services for whoever needs it, really, entrepreneurs, small business owners. I'm located here in Trenton, and you know, if you need bookkeeping services or accounting, I do taxes for people. I've been doing that for 15, 16 years, and personal finances as well. So I am a licensed insurance rep, and I also help people with investments. So if people are trying to get into the investing area, they want to start saving money, money for college funds or retirement, anything like that, I'm licensed to help people with that.
Great. One of the things that we've talked about in the past is tax season, and how when people come to tax season, oftentimes they present their tax preparer with a box of receipts. Yep. Why don't you share a little bit about what people can do to make tax time a little easier for them and also for the preparer?
Okay. So in my experience, the people around me seem to be artists. So the last thing they're thinking about is their business expenses or keeping receipts or, you know, maintaining any of that. What I try to tell people is the easiest thing to do, even if you bring me a box, it's okay. The easiest thing to do is if you have something that's a business expense, right on the front or the back of this receipt, and just let us know briefly what it is. If you have a meeting with someone and you're eating out, this is a business meeting with Jacques Howard. And that's helpful. If it's office supplies, if it's art supplies, you know, whatever it is, just a little note on there, because you can get a receipt from Home Depot or Staples and we don't know what it is. You know, it's just a code. But if you can help just to do that and then throw it in the box, then that will help whoever is doing your taxes.
Now, I'm sure there are some people who are in business, and again, like you said, they may not be so focused on the administrative side of it. What would you like to say to them, or some simple procedures that they could do?
Simple procedures. I would say keep all your receipts, number one. A lot of people pay in cash, but if you can, at the very least, if you have a business account that you're using and you're swiping your card, then at least we have some sort of backup if you lose the receipt, or if you don't get a receipt with that purchase. We can go to your bank statements and we can take a look at that and see, you know, where you purchased something, or that you stayed in this hotel for this conference that you went to, or something like that. But you need to be diligent about keeping some sort of record of where you're spending your money. Otherwise, you're losing the opportunity to get deductions, to write off things for your business.
Now, what other areas do you feel people miss opportunities to write things off for their taxes? I know you can see a lot of commercials during tax season talking about transportation and your mileage, right, and all those different things. Are there any particular areas that you think entrepreneurs and business owners should focus on?
Definitely mileage. What I've been finding in the last few years is that you have an option. You can choose to count your mileage, or you can choose to count the maintenance on your vehicle that you're using for your business. And unless you have an old vehicle where you're getting a lot of maintenance done, a lot of times it's more beneficial for you to track your mileage. So, you know, it's a headache for some people, but you can download some apps. I know one of my clients uses Mile IQ. So anytime they get in the car, basically Mile IQ starts up and it's tracking your mileage for you. So then you can just go in and say, this is personal or this is business for this event. So that's definitely, that'll definitely give you large benefits if you do a lot of driving.
Great. Now I want to transition and talk a bit about insurance. You've assisted me on several occasions with insurance. And for the general person out there who's looking at personal insurance, can you just give them the two main differences?
The two main differences with?
Yeah, what is it?
Different
Term
insurances?
and, yeah.
Term, term and whole life. There's two insurances. In the bigger picture, there's term insurance and there's whole life. And so I find a lot of people, they like whole life. That's what their families had all their life. And basically what we do is we try to tell people, get a term policy, get something for 30 years, 35 years, depending on your age, you know. And because what's going to happen is once you're 70, right, what will you need more of? Will you need more insurance when you're 70 years old, or will you need money in your pocket, right? What I find is with term insurance, usually it's cheaper than whole life, okay? So the goal is to get the less expensive, a good term policy, and the amount of money that you would have spent on that whole life policy, start saving that. So if you're saving $25, $50 a month, right, and you're doing that for the next 20, 30 years, you'll have a nice chunk of money when that term policy runs out. And you'll have money that you'll be able to live off of, or at least add to your retirement, Social Security income or something like that when you're 70 years old. When you're 70, you know, it doesn't matter if that $500,000 policy runs out, all your kids are grown, you probably have grown grandkids, and really what you need is money to live off of. So term policy is usually better, and it's usually going to be less expensive.
Now, there are lots of different options for insurance. I mean, I think the insurance industry is one of the fastest and most rapidly growing industries in the country right now.
Right.
When people are talking about personal insurance, business, or property insurance as well. So are there any suggestions you would have for people who are looking to purchase insurance, whether they should go to the big carriers or if they should focus on someone smaller, local, or regional?
I would just say get a few different quotes, but make sure you're comparing apples to apples. You know, you can find good insurance with smaller companies, you can find good insurance with the larger companies, but I would say get a few different quotes the same way you shop for anything else, and make sure, you know, the things that you want covered are getting covered. Make sure that your insurance is not going to increase in the next 5 years, or every 5 years they're going to do an increase. You don't want anything like that. You want to have an insurance that's going to cover you for however long it's going to cover you for that rate, and for the amount of money that they agreed that you're going to pay when you start. So if you have something that's going to continually increase, you probably just signed up for a bad policy.
Great. Now, what happens if you find yourself in a situation where you're in a policy that you don't like, or the insurance company or broker that you're dealing with is no longer in business? What are some of the steps you would recommend?
So if your insurance is still in force, that's great. Hold on to it until you find a new company. You don't want to cancel that insurance right away. Because what happens is, let's say you've had your insurance 5 years and it's increasing, or you don't like it for whatever reason, you want to change insurance companies. That next insurance company will basically credit you for the amount of time that you were with the previous company. Okay. So a lot of companies say they have a 2-year waiting period before, you know, you can't die within the next 2 years or else they're not going to pay, you know. But a lot of companies will credit you for the insurance that you already had. So I would say hold on to it before you change.
Great. And how can people find out more about NAR services or NAR management?
NAR management.
Yes.
I do have a website. It's www.narmanagement.com. They can email me, Nicole@narmanagement.com, and then I have a phone number, 609-712-2524.
Fantastic. Nicole Reeves, NAR Management. You're listening and watching Trenton365 Live. I'm Jacques Howard. We'll be back after a short break.
looking for a group of Wempresses. Vampires, bloodsuckies, Nosferatu.
You mean like Dracula's and shit?
Yes, like Dracula. These women will seduce you. They will take you home and get you more intoxicated than you've ever been in your entire life. They will pleasure you in ways that you have never been pleasured. Then when you least expect it, that's when they suck and drain you of your blood. What I need to do is stop a reign of terror. Stop a reign of bloodshed that's been spread across the world for centuries. And I need to stop them before it's too late.
Do you think you can handle us? All three of us?
Friend, and welcome back to Trenton365 Live. You're going to hear me say this quite a bit, but you can send me an email, trenton365show@gmail.com. You can follow me on social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also post your events to the Trenton365 community calendar page on Facebook as well. And if you're listening and viewing in the audience and you have a suggestion for a guest, or you have an event that you think would be good for Trenton365 Live to cover, make sure you send me an email and I'll follow up with you or with that particular person about how we can get that done. My next guest is Trish Gore. Now, I met Trish a couple of weeks ago through a mutual friend, Nacone Martin. Shout out to Nacone Martin of Enokin Fitness. She'll be on at a later date. But Trish Gore and I met during the Healing Stream Breast Cancer Awareness Walk that took place at Cadwallader Park. And oftentimes when you meet someone, you know you have that immediate connection. There's a selfie that's on social media of Trish and I wearing our pink and black or black and pink Enokin Fitness sweatshirts where you can kind of, it probably looks like we've known each other for a very long time, but we haven't. But that goes back to, again, making those connections with people who are like-minded, who are doing some amazing things. And I'd like to welcome Trish Gore to the program. Trish, nice to see you again.
Great to see you again, Jock. Thank you. I'm excited to be here and everything that my future holds for me and you as well and everyone out there.
Awesome. So one of the things that you and I connected with was immediately our first phone conversation. You were talking about your efforts as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Can you share a bit about your background?
Sure. Yes. I've been born and raised in the city of Trenton, and I retired. I'm 2 years in, retired.
So I want to interrupt this here. So folks, when Trish told me that she was retired, my jaw dropped, and I said, "Now, you know, there's this saying that black don't crack, meaning black skin." Now, I know you're not of age to retire.
Absolutely not.
All right.
No.
Okay. But you've been fortunate enough to actually get to that position in life where you can retire early.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I've actually prepared myself being an entrepreneur for 6 years and, you know, was forwarded to retire early by a few investments that I've made and done within those 6 years. And that's been a great thing for me, and I'm excited to be retired. I can get up and do what I want. I love to travel, you know, spending times with friends and family, and just, you know, basically do what I want to do, whatever I want to do it. And because there's no better exercise from the heart than reaching out and uplifting other people as well as myself. So I'm excited.
Sure. I want to stick with that uplifting part because that's also something that we connected with immediately. We were talking about, you know, the investments and things that you made to get you to the position that you are. But we also talked about there's a lot of underserved and missed opportunities that people in this region have. And one of the businesses that you have is that you want to provide opportunities for people to get better so that they can extend themselves and get to a position where you are. What made you want to jump into the whole idea of being an entrepreneur?
I wanted something different for myself. My 9-to-5 was paying the bills, and I just wanted something different. I just surrounded myself around like-minded individuals, some experts in the field and what they do in their own craft. So I had a great experience with that, and it just excited me, and I enjoyed each and every time that I was with them and helping different individuals as well as families do certain things with themselves, for themselves, make some extra income. And, I was just, it kind of made me feel great.
Now, you know, a lot of times when people see folks who are in the media or people who are, air quotes here, successful, they just see that. They just see the shine. They just see the gloss.
Yes.
They see all the positive things. And folks, I'm going to be straight up and tell you, this is, you know, you may see what I'm doing and see me out and about, but there's a lot of peaks and valleys in this. And oftentimes, the valleys are a lot deeper than the peaks are high. From your perspective, Trish, as an entrepreneur, can you just touch on that a little bit?
Like I said before, you got to surround yourself around like-minded individuals who want something more than just the average. Because we are all better than average. We just have to see the greatness that's within us. And that's what I've been doing. And, you know, it gives you an empowerment, and it also gives you that confidence when you're out and about just meeting individuals. I travel and I just meet individuals just like I met you. You know, there's a connection, and it gets to where as though it seems that it doesn't happen that way, but that connections, they come when you never know when it's going to happen. Yeah.
Now, you've introduced me to something that a lot of folks have been chatting about over the years, and that is this whole forthcoming or currently here digital marketplace and digital currencies and Bitcoin for folks who understand what I'm talking about. So briefly, can you share a bit about that before we go to a commercial break?
Sure. Well, listen, I'm excited about new opportunities and what's happening right here, right in front of us, a little under our noses, but it's right here. It's been happening. Me and my business partners and I were launching some awesome lucrative business projects, and it'll help improve and increase people's financial IQ and educating individuals and empowering our communities and empowering our families. So those individuals, you know, they educate and help bridge the gap and the product knowledge, and that is something that no one can take away from you. Yeah, so that's what I love about it. And let me just say this one thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your financial IQ? I've asked some people that, and they'll say between 3 and 6. And I'll ask the question of, would you want to increase that? And of course, I probably could say yes, because who doesn't want to do that? So this comes into play, you know, you may or you may not be aware of what's happening with the blockchain and Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. This is the new digital economy that's happening right about now. And let me just, I think it's awesome. And I'm just going to give you a quick, you know, example of just a quick example of something. See, everything that has gone digital and whatever is left is going digital. You know, we have the Cash App, that's digital. Apple Pay, that's digital. Google Pay, that's digital. These are all things that are now being utilized in how we buy and sell goods and services in this digital economy. And I think it's awesome, and we should all be taking advantage of that, you know, because we are the last to find out about certain things. And hey, I'm just going to say this: if you want to get included in with my business partners and I, you can reach out to me via Facebook. I'm Trish Gore on Facebook, or IG, PAGOREJUS, that's PA Gorgeous on IG. Or you can contact you know, me. I'm not going to give my phone number out, but you can contact Jock. And yes, well, that's how you can connect with me. And I'm just excited about what's happening for the future. Yes.
Awesome. Well, Trish Gore, thank you so much. So, folks, you can reach out to Trish, and it's Gore is the last name, on social media, Facebook, and you can also find her on Instagram, PA Gorgeous on Instagram, and then you can also find her information. I'll have it posted on the Trenton365 media outlets as well. We're up on a short break, but thank you for listening and watching to Trenton365 Live.
I am not a bad man, but I was always gonna be who I am.
welcome back to Trenton365 Live. Again, you can send me an email, Trenton365show@gmail.com. You can follow on social media platforms. Facebook is Trenton365 Show. Instagram and Twitter is @Trenton365. Keep your eyes open and stay tuned as we progress. I mean, this is the first Trenton365 Live production, but we're going to be doing a lot more things, having lots of different guests on, talking about lots of different things. One of the things that I'm passionate about is books and about reading. I've got probably, I don't want to get into that. We've got plenty of books around the house, but one of the initiatives that I launched is Library Boxes of Trenton, #LBOT, #LBOTS. So tonight I'm going to be talking about 4 books that I'm reading currently and share a bit about the authors. One of them is The Garden State Wineries Guide, and that's written by friend Bart Jackson, who is also the president and CEO of Prometheus Publishing. And he's got a forthcoming book that's coming out called The Art of the CEO, and he's got another one, CEO of Yourself. So stay tuned for that. Bart will be a guest. Next I have The Green Amendment, which I'm reading, and that's by Maya K. Van Rossum. Now, the Green Amendment, a lot of people don't realize is that the region that we live in here in New Jersey and Pennsylvania is a very green and lush community. In addition to that, there's lots of different laws and ordinances that are being passed that are working to restrict development and also allow development, which could cause, in turn, problems with our land, our water, etc. So Maya K. Van Rossum is the author of the book, The Green Amendment. She'll be on at a later time as well. And then, of course, I have to talk about this, which is Revolution in a Bottle, and this is by Tom Zaki, who is the CEO and founder of TerraCycle, which is a company that focuses on waste and trash and upcycling. They're a marketing company, but they're doing some amazing things globally. And one of the initiatives that I'm pushing with TerraCycle is, why is this internationally recognized company who deals with waste, whose corporate headquarters is based in Trenton, New Jersey, why don't we see more of TerraCycle involved in what's happening here in Trenton, New Jersey and the Mercer County region? But stay tuned for that. So this book is Revolution in a Bottle by Tom Zaki, CEO and founder of TerraCycle. And this has been all over my social media page. And folks, I'm going to keep preaching about this. Obituary for a Hometown. This was written by a doctor who is a female who talks about Trenton, New Jersey from the 1940s up into the present with some of the ordinances that have been passed, the laws, the politics, etc., that have helped to shape the current economic situation here in Trenton. Her name is Judith Fiorello Kosovars. Judith Fiorello Kosovars. She's a PhD, and we're working to have her come back into Trenton, and stay tuned for that, as I'll be working with a couple of different organizations to get Judith here as well. But this book has actually been dynamic, a lot of information in it. Now, before we finish up, I want you all folks to know that I'm encouraging you to be in the best physical fitness shape of your life. I'm not a trainer. I do exercise on a regular basis, and I eat pretty much everything. I enjoy my life. I enjoy all the privileges and the fruits that I'm allowed, given by the gift of God. I encourage you to consider how you can be in the best shape of your life. And I want you to keep your eyes open as I continue to grow my brand with Enokin Fitness as we put together the Enokin Fitness team. We'll have some events and opportunities for people to come together and to network in a great safe space with physical exercise. So please take care of your health. That's very important as well. And make sure that you consider your eye health, your dental health, etc., because we're going to be bringing in some doctors to talk about that. Now, finally, next week, the midterm elections are here. Everyone should have received one of these if you're registered and eligible to vote. And if you did, please just take a couple minutes to read it. Go online, check out about the public questions to be voted on. It's only one question this year. It's a yes or no. One of the things I really want to encourage folks to do is, in this day and age, maybe not put so much emphasis in writing down the party line. Just recognize that there's going to be individuals who are in the party that you're affiliated with and not in the party that you're affiliated with. Voting down the line does nothing but give your power away. For example, this coming election, we have 23 people who are seeking office. I would almost guarantee you have not heard of all 23 people. Now, it behooves you to do a little bit of research and find out who they are and which person represents you. Don't be so concerned about the party that they represent. Don't be so concerned about the beautiful glossy or non-glossy materials that you receive in the mail, or how many placards you see all over the side of the road, or any of those things. Ask some questions. You may find out that the people who are representing you through a particular party may not be truly representing you or your best interests. And in post-industrial cities like Trenton, I would ask you to consider which candidates have been in your presence. That's something to think about going forward. But you can follow up with more information such as politics and what's happening voting by visiting the Bridge the Vote Facebook page. Unbiased, nonpartisan information about the candidates who are seeking to run and lead you, the people. You have the power. I'm Jock Howard. Thanks for tuning in to the first test run of Trenton365 Live. You can send me an email, Trenton365show@gmail.com. Have a great night, friends, and we'll talk soon.